Welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony. I am joined today by my co-host, Mr. Awesome, and our very special guest. Hello and welcome to Tiger Talks Wrestling. Here, Tony, your host, and joined by the almighty Shazam, the reigning TikTok champion.
How's it going?
Going good, thanks. How about you?
Doing good.
Well, you say you're the reigning TikTok champion. I've heard they've made quite a few changes and things that some people aren't happy about over there at TikTok lately.
You know, that's true. TikTok's really going downhill.
But I've heard that about Twitch as well. So
that's true too.
All right. Nonetheless, we're here for our AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling prediction show for Forbidden Door. And I'm still searching for a certain picture. Might not find it though. Wow, some of those would be interesting matches if they actually happened. Oh yeah, this is second year in a row that the International Championship / All Atlantic Championship will be defended in a Fatal 4-Way match. Interesting.
Not that it matters.
Right. All right, let's go this way. Well, shit, I was hoping that would have brought me right to a picture of that match. I might not have an actual picture for it. So what I'll do is this picture. Won't have the people on it, but if anybody needs to find out who the people are, they can look it up themselves. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I thought that was... There it is. Okay. Go this route. So the first match we'll discuss is the one match that they've got announced for the 0 hour. And we'll talk about this whole bracket here real quick. While we had it brought up here. Once it pops up, there we go. Yeah, you'll see some things on the side there. See if I can get rid of that. Go away. All right. So as you can see there, it's the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. The brackets include, starting with this Friday, at Rampage, you got Anna JAS versus Sky Blue. Saturday on Collision, you got Nyla Rose versus Willow Nightingale. Next Wednesday on Dynamite, it'll be Ruby Soho versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. This Sunday at Forbidden Door, the match we got to discuss, Athena, the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, facing Billy Starks, who some people might know from her brief stint she had in WWE and their UK company, I believe. NXT UK. So who you got between the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena and Billy Starks, John?
You mean between the two former WWE divas?
Yeah, sure, if you want to put it that way.
Well, I gotta go with the one that's, held the titles such as the NXT Championship, Women's Championship back in the day. I gotta go with Athena.
Yeah, I can't see him having the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion losing a first-round match to somebody who's newer to the company and Billy Starks, up and coming. And when you look at it, I mean, you have to assume Nyla Rose will probably lose to Willow Nightingale on Collision this Saturday. So then you get Willow and Athena in the semis. Looking at the whole bracket, I would say, knowing how things have been going, I'll put a little spoiler alert out here. I already seen Sky Blue beats Anna Jay this upcoming Friday on Rampage. So she's going to the semis. That to me means that Ruby Soho is probably going to be going to the semis and somehow beating Dr. Britt Baker, because I can't see him doing Britt versus Sky Blue in the semis. Personally,
I mean, you're most likely right on that. It's just hard to see Dr. Britt Baker go out in the first round.
In a way, I guess it kind of makes sense since she's the defending champion, but that depends on which way you want to look at it, because you might think some people would probably say it'd make more sense for her to go to the finals again and lose it in the finals, but there's numbers there for Ruby as well, because you got, of course, Toni Storm in her corner, and Saraya was supposed to be back on AEW programming this week as well, so I can see Saraya making a return and helping out Ruby get the win there, and probably Ruby will make it to the finals against Willow Nightingale, I'm assuming, especially since we know Willow we'll get into later, Willow will be facing Toni Storm here at Forbidden Door. So that's my prediction for the finals anyway.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Move on from that. It seems like they could have announced the tournament a little bit sooner than what they did, instead of announcing it the week of, in my opinion, though, because it seems almost rushed, but in a way. But yet they've known when they wanted to do it in Canada since a month or so ago when they announced it. But to me, I just feel like they could have announced the actual bracket a little sooner, I guess. But that's my thinking. Should be a fun tournament either way. We're not going to go over the men's yet. We'll get into that later, because we got a match from the men's tournament at Forbidden Door. The first match for Forbidden Door that we will discuss, though, as I get it to cooperate here. Wrong button. If we get anybody in the comment section at any point in time, I see it's at 0 at the moment, viewers, but they can leave their comments, their predictions as well. All right. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. That's not either. That one is. Oh, that's why. Because the dang picture is not going to the picture. It's going to the actual website. Damn it. That's what I wanted to do.
What a concept.
Instead. I know, right? May have found one that has it. Maybe. We'll see. Just give me the picture of that match. I'll get to the other matches. I might use his for that too. Of course, Forbidden Door taking place Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in Toronto. Apparently, Toronto and being in Canada is the reason why the Hardys lost to the Guns yesterday at Dynamite, because Jeff Hardy is not allowed in Canada. So, Jeff Hardy won't be on TV the next few weeks.
That sucks.
There's the next match. Once it loads up there. There we go. Being slow. Technology for you. We got Will Ospreay going one-on-one with Kenny Bagat Omega for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. And of course, we seen Ospreay talking backstage with Don Callis, who is offering his security staff, if you will, to Will Ospreay, as he's been bad-mouthing the Canadians lately on social media, I guess. I have a feeling we might actually see a title change here.
I'm thinking so.
I'm thinking
No
Don
offense
Callis
to Kenny Omega, but Will Ospreay is going to be the title holder.
Yeah, Will was the former IWGP US champion, who Kenny won the title from. But I just feel like Don Callis, we know, is going to be there. Konosuke Takeshita, we know, is going to be there at Forbidden Door as well. I mean, yes, the Elite's going to be there too, but I just feel like some kind of shenanigans are going to happen, and Will Ospreay will walk out with the victory and be new IWGP US champ. Would it be surprising if Kenny won? Not fully,
yes.
But okay, yes, it will be, but it should be a great match between those two. I mean, Kenny and Will are both known for putting on really good matches usually. So, and these are in no particular order. I have no idea what matches they're putting on first or last. But correction, I don't know where any of these matches are going, except for the last match we'll talk about that has been announced as the main event for Forbidden Door. Which is odd that that match will be the main event and not another one, but we'll get into that later. All right. So now here's another spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen the spoilers from the Rampage tapings last night. So, Adam Cole.
Baby!
Thank you. Was out in the ring talking about the lethal lottery, if you will, picking, and actually got interrupted, got beaten down, and MJF made the save very slowly to help out his partner. Adam Cole has a match at Forbidden Door now, one-on-one with Filthy Tom Lawler. You shake your head. I know some people are fans of Tom Lawler, some people are not. So
I feel like there could be better matchups.
I kind of thought so too when I seen spoilers, but
I feel like Adam Cole wins this hands down.
I'd agree. I mean, the man is being set up for a future world title shot. So that's the way I'm looking at it, even though they have to be tag team partners in the tournament. But speaking of, what do you think of the whole drawing of it being Adam Cole and MJF as tag team partners in this tournament announced yesterday?
It was quite ironic. I enjoyed that very much. They didn't, but that made it better.
I mean, we've seen things like this happen in wrestling before, where a champion and challenger have to team up, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So, though, they might be onto something here, and we might actually see them give FTI a run for their money. Because I could easily see Adam and MJF making it to the finals.
Oh, easily.
Honestly. I mean, they're going to do tit for tat and see who can one-up each other throughout every match that they're in. And MJF, of course, complaining because he's got to wrestle every week now.
Oh, that poor baby.
I know, right? What he's paid to do, but hey. When does that matter?
Never.
And I'm calling it Lethal Lottery, and they called it something different, but that's pretty much what a Lethal Lottery tournament. Randomly Battle Bowl, that's what it reminds me of, is the Battle Bowl that WCW did back in the day. All right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Adam Cole and Tom Lawler fare against each other, but yeah, I definitely see a boom in the future for Tom Lawler, Forbidden Door. And probably for many others in that tag team blind eliminator tournament too, but all right, next match. Once I find the card for it, because I know I seen it earlier. There it is. I'm sharing that one. Gotta change over. Once I know it's at the right spot. Yeah, that one might be even better. That's got all of the matches, cards-wise. Sweet. The majority of them, anyway. See if it stays put where it's at now, because that'll be the match that I want if it does. A match we were kind of discussing a little bit earlier. You got the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion Willow Nightingale going one-on-one with the AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. Again, the main reason I say Willow's making it to the finals to face Ruby Soho in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Women's bracket, anyway. Because she'll have a history with Toni at that point.
Right.
But I see Toni Storm picking up the win, probably from help from Ruby and or Saraya.
I mean, whether or not there's shenanigans or not, I still feel Toni Storm has no chance of losing them at all.
Right? I have to wonder, well, not necessarily wonder, but makes you think. Originally, from what reports came out, Mercedes Moné was supposed to be part of this card. Is this the match they were thinking that she was going to have at Forbidden Door? Her and Toni. Or even it possibly could have been Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter, because Jamie was the champion before she got injured too. So
right, yeah.
But I would have to imagine, since we got the strong champion versus the world champion, AEW Women's World Champion here, then Mercedes probably would have played in that situation instead of Willow if Mercedes wouldn't have went down with the injury.
Probably true.
Either way, I'm sure Willow will get a nice, strong showing here, but yeah, like we said, no way is Toni Storm losing the AEW Women's World title, especially this early on in her title reign.
Her actual title reign?
Yeah. Considering she was an interim champion last time. Which I know she hated that term, as did many people. You can't blame them. I'm sure the guys did too when CM Punk was out and they had an interim championship then too. Moxley. Maybe Tony Khan learned his lesson from that one, but moving on. Another match that we kind of mentioned a little bit. You got the four-way match that was just announced during Dynamite yesterday. These four guys were in a tag team match against each other, and then they get thrown into the fatal four-way at Forbidden Door. You got the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Katsuyori Shibata, facing off against Daniel Garcia, the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Champion, Zack Sabre Jr., and of course, the defending champion, the AEW International Champion, Orange Cassidy. Yeah, hands in the pocket. He outlasted 20 other men recently. Can he outlast these three men?
I would say this match is definitely going to be in the top half of the card, if not one of the best matches on the show, especially with the four competitors you have in it. Right. And as much as I want to doubt the skills of Orange Cassidy, I feel like something's going to go on and he is going to walk out still champion.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I bet against him before, and it's hard to keep doing it. I mean, the lengthy title reign Orange has had now as international/All Atlantic champion. Um, I don't know, something to me just screams Daniel Garcia is winning this international title though here. I don't know why, but I kind of just feel like somehow he's going to walk out as champion. Which I'm not a fan of Daniel Garcia in any means, shape, or form, but I can see that happening. So it seems like some of the people in AEW are pretty high up, especially certain people that are in control of creative nowadays. So I'm Danny. I will say I was watching that tag team match yesterday, and when I seen Zack Sabre Jr., I haven't seen a whole lot of his New Japan work, but the last time I remember really seeing a whole lot of him was back when he was part of WWE's Cruiserweight Classic. He's put on some muscle and some weight since then. He's still a great athlete, though. That's for sure. But yeah, like you said, I could see this match being one of the best matches of the night. I just don't see any reason they'd give it to Shibata because he's already the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Sabre, I don't think will stick around, so that's why I don't think they'll give it to him. So I only see if anybody takes the title off of Orange here, it's got to be Daniel Garcia, in my opinion. Because Shibata doesn't really stick around AEW that much either.
I think Garcia's taking the fall.
That's possible. All right. Let's move on. See if I can find a picture for the next match. Of course, it's the other way if there is one on this page. There it is. So the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament, men's quarterfinal match. You got CM Punk one-on-one with Satoshi Kojima. Originally, they wanted Kenta for this match, but Kenta decided not to be a part of this. So here we go. I see you're already shaking your head, John.
At least with Kenta, it would have been a spectacular match. No, I'm not saying Kojima's not that good. I'm just saying Kenta and Punk would be a freaking amazing match.
Right.
One I would actually like to see.
Right.
And now, since Kenta's not in it, I feel like Punk's getting the win. At least with Kenta around, it made it more balanced. Like, oh, there's a big possibility. But with this match, once again, no offense to the ability of Kojima, but Punk is winning this.
Yeah, I'd agree. Either way, I feel like Punk was going to win, even with it would have been Kenta there. But I think that's part of the reason why Kenta decided not to take part in this, because he knew he was just going to be brought in to lose to Punk.
Right.
However, should be a fun match. I know I've seen they're saying Kojima's the master of the clothesline, pretty much. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of
Kojima.
Yeah.
I thought that was an H. My bad.
No. No, it's okay. But still, at the end, with Punk just returning, making an appearance on Dynamite yesterday just because they're in Chicago, pretty much, I can't see Punk losing at pay-per-view. Interesting that Punk will be on a pay-per-view where the Elite is as well, considering they're not supposed to be in the same vicinity as each other, it seems like. But I guess pay-per-views are going to be the only exception.
That's why I could see this match opening. That way they get Punk out of there and bring the Elite in, or have the Elite in first and then have Punk in later. That way they're not in the same building at the same time.
That could be one of those two ways. Who knows? But I know they what you've seen from the Elite yesterday on Dynamite was pre-taped before even taped before Collision aired on Saturday, from what I heard. So the Elite apparently was there and taped that and then left before Punk was even at the building. Interesting to see where things go between CM Punk and the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman. Personally, I didn't show it here, and I'd have to find it to bring it up again. I think CM Punk's probably got to be an odds-on favorite to win the whole Owen Hart Foundation tournament, especially since Bret Hart's one of his big idols, if you will, and somebody that he paid tribute to even in his return match last week on Collision, wearing the pink and black and having the stars on the pants. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan has Punk win that. And honestly, out of all the names that they announced, the 8 names on there, there's no bigger name than CM Punk in the tournament. So. Of course, that match doesn't have a picture for it. Let's see if I can find one that does. Don't do that. I know you want to, but. All right. Bear with me for a minute. See if I can find this tag match. Thought I'd seen one at one point, but maybe not yet. And like I said, some of these pictures are strange to see. Matches that people would love to see at a Forbidden Door, including Punk and Kenta for that matter. That's not going to do it. Should have left his page up. Okay. So let's go. See if I can find it on their Twitter page, maybe. That one didn't even load the picture for that match. I see we got a visitor.
Yep, he's always around.
Keep saying hi again, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do. Yeah. I seen my friend Fuego del Sol contract expires on the 1st of July, and he'll be leaving AEW.
Not Cage.
Seen that on social media today.
You're not a parrot. Quit acting like one. Someone's comfortable.
I see that. Just a little bit comfortable. As I'm still browsing, looking for a picture here, see if I can find it. Yeah, that's one match. There's another match. Yeah. You did actually show me the match I'm looking for here. There it is. Found it. So, get out of that screen. We'll go to this screen. Well, a huge 10-man tag match that they got at Forbidden Door. We, of course, got 3 members of the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, the Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta teaming up with Shota Umina and Konosuke Takeshita to face off against the Elite, Hangman, the Hung Bucks, if you will, even though they apparently decided not to call them that anymore for certain reasons. Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks teaming up with Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii. Should be an interesting 10-man tag match.
This would go either way. But I gotta go with my gut.
Right?
And my gut's saying Elite. So I'm gonna go with Elite, Kingston, and Ishii.
Ishii.
That's a mouthful.
Right? The Stone Pitbull, if you will.
How does the last name have almost the same amount of syllables as the first name?
I know, right? I've noticed that with some of these Japanese guys, though. Yeah, this one's. I agree with you. It could go either way. I feel like this isn't going to be the last time we're going to see a 10-man tag where involving the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, though.
For sure.
I still think that we're going to get All In. More than likely, we're going to get blood and guts between these two teams. Not all these 10 men, obviously, but Kenny Omega and with Hangman and the Bucks and maybe Eddie Kingston against all 4 members of the Blackpool Combat Club and Takeshita is what I'm figuring. But I do feel like I kind of have to agree with you. I think the Elite needs to get a win kind of in this rivalry, so I think this will be their first win with Eddie Kingston and Ishii at Forbidden Door.
The Ishii with the win.
Possible. Well, Eddie Kingston pinned the Ring of Honor World Champion that he's been going after.
Yeah.
All kinds of different routes you can go there. I'm kind of glad in a way that they're playing off of a Ring of Honor rivalry into the storyline here, since Tony Khan does own both, and they rarely ever do that. But
there's only one thing missing for this match, though.
What's that?
No Busta bashing the Young Bucks.
I know, right?
It's like the best part about the AEW shows.
Yeah, haven't even talked to him the last few days, so I didn't even mention this show to him. So, but lately, if you remember right, he hasn't really been bashing the Young Bucks that much. So,
yeah, he's actually been giving them compliments.
I know. It's weird.
Are we sure that Kevin's okay?
No, not really. Wouldn't give him shit, though. I had to give him a little bit of shit last week because he was supposed to be in the comment section during the show I was doing last Thursday, and he no-showed that. So,
oh, the review show?
No, my actual interview I was doing last week.
Oh, you actually doing an interview?
Yeah, I did an interview last Thursday.
Who'd you interview?
Had Tyler Aiken from VTW. Tyler Aiken, the Gooba from VTW Wrestling.
Gotcha.
That one doesn't have a picture either. I was hoping when I refreshed it, we'd have a picture. Yeah, it was a fun show. It was like 3 hours, but it was the first time he's done a show like that in years. We had a blast. You're probably seeing me scroll through there, aren't you? No, you're not. Okay, I did take that off there. Never mind. Trying to find another picture because that site didn't have it. Press juice. Nice. Yeah. That's the last picture on there, isn't it? Yeah. So, scroll back down the other way. What'd you think of Collision this past Saturday, anyway? Well, I'm hunting.
It was... How do I word this properly? I mean, I was looking forward to it, but it almost felt like a letdown for what I was expecting. And then
Really?
Punk showed.
Well, Punk showed up to kick off the show, so.
Right. Oh, I know. I'm saying that's what started my, it's actually happening. Yay.
What's actually happening?
I used to love CM Punk. But I don't know, lately CM Punk has just not been doing it for me. So I get they did a show and he kicked it all off and all that, but it's like it doesn't hit the same as it used to.
Right. I mean, I thought it was a really good show, and the matches were great, especially Andrade and Buddy Matthews. I felt like they stole the show.
Oh, you mean Buddy Matthews and Mr. Charlotte Flair?
What's that?
You mean Buddy Matthews and Mr. Flair?
Yeah. Buddy Ripley and Mr. Flair?
Yeah, Buddy Ripley.
If you will.
Who's losing his girl to no condom.
Yep.
That Father's Day post they did.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I seen a picture on Facebook yesterday of Dom and his actual fiance. Not that thing. Come on, I know I seen a picture for it somewhere at one point. Where did it go? Of course, nothing wants to cooperate with me when I'm looking for it, though. I think, personally, knowing that Punk's going to be in another multi-man, a little different once he's actually in a singles match on Collision instead of being just in multi-man matches. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
it'll
end up being good in the long run.
Why can't they have a picture of that one on there? They're supposed to.
Yeah.
Let's hope so. All right. Yeah. It's gonna be slow. The first match I'm looking for doesn't want to pop up there. You go there. We're gonna delete that. Maybe I should just jump to that match first. I know there's a picture for that one. If only AEW was as simple as WWE. Sorry, folks. They don't know how. I will say the opening match that they had, though, on Collision, I wasn't a huge fan of.
Right.
The Wardlow Luchasaurus match, especially with the outcome of it.
Right.
Whoops. Got that, so it's just showing me. Shame. There we go. All right. Since I'm not finding the match I want, we're going to skip over it long enough for me to bring up the other one, and we can discuss that, and then I'll get back to it. My internet cut out for a second again. There we go. See if that pops up there. So I was telling you about this a little bit about this match earlier before we went on. Um, Sonata apparently, reports came out, wasn't too thrilled with his match for Forbidden Door, as he had no knowledge of who Jack Perry is. Wanted a bigger name to face at Forbidden Door. But here we are. We got Jungle Boy Jack Perry with Hook in his corner, going up against Sonata for the IWGP. Sonata might not know who Jack Perry is, but I have a feeling after this match is all said and done, he's going to have a pretty damn good idea of who Jack Perry is.
Oh, for sure. I mean, talking about, as we found out at last pay-per-view, one of the 4 pillars of AEW. It's going to be a hell of a match. Sonata's going to end up keeping the title, but it's not going to be as easy as you think. He's going to get some shockers right there. He's going to find out just who the Jungle Boy is. Great match all in all. I don't see the point of having. I get that him and Hook have been going out together and all that and have each other's backs, but in this particular match, you want to show who you are to someone who's like, oh, who's this? And I don't think you need Hook out there with you to do that. But that's just my opinion on the matter. So I think Sonata wins, but it's not going to be easy.
Right.
I think Sonata wins, but it's not going to be easy.
Right, I'd agree with that part. I almost feel like them including Hook out there, Jungle Boy might be in for another backstab here.
Yeah.
We could see Hook end up either costing him this match or attacking Jungle Boy after the match, I feel like. Because I just don't feel like Jungle Hook is going to be a tag team for the long run. But I could be wrong. Who knows?
I want Hook in WWE.
I've been wrong about things before. It's just kind of a feeling that I have that. Huh?
I want Hook in WWE.
I've seen rumors that he might be heading that way sooner than later.
I like it.
We'll see if that happens. But yeah, either way, I just feel like either Jack's going to turn on Hook after the match or Hook's going to turn on Jack either during or after the match, one or the other. I just don't feel like this tag team's going to be a thing after Forbidden Door. But who knows? With the tag team tournament, too, they might want to play it out a little longer and have Jack and Hook as a tag team in there. Who knows? We'll see. It could just be the start of the seeds of a turn for one of them as well, this match. Of course, that still might not have the picture for me. Oh, I didn't know that. Apparently, Madison Rayne hasn't been wrestling lately on AEW programming because she's sidelined with a foot injury.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, since I can't find a picture for it, we're going to play a little video then for the next match instead. Whoops, I don't want to add you back to the screen. Gotta love technology not wanting to cooperate. There we go. There we go. I think we got all of those. I don't think I grouped and deleted any others. So there. That'll work. That's where I can be a professional when I need to be, just not with this type of shit.
Right.
Especially when they make things difficult. Can't be like WWE and have an actual page post for each match. All right. We can go. Watch this. Look at this.
Man, Chris, why are you so uptight? Huh? You cussing at me now. He's cussing under his breath right now. Come on, we had a great moment last week. I agree. But a moment's not long enough, Chris. I need some time with you.
And time he will get. As we found out, it will be a trios match at Forbidden Door. We got the Suzuki Gods, Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, and Minoru Suzuki, who were victorious over Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox last night on Dynamite, going up against Sting, Darby Allin, and a tag team partner to be announced this Saturday on Collision. And Darby would mention to Sting, you've made a lot of enemies in a lot of places over the years. We've got the perfect person for our partner. So let's start. Who you think is going to be the tag team partner for Sting and Darby Allin in this match?
Oh, God. I feel like it should be really simple, but the name is not
right?
coming to me. There's two people it could be, but I can't think of their freaking names.
There's one name that stood out that was rumored to me.
I just can't remember the name.
Somebody who Chris Jericho's had issues with since back in his WCW days.
The dude that he fought in 2019, right? In Japan.
Perhaps. Okay, there's three names technically I could see being there. I just thought of three people who could be. So they could bring in, I'm going to list two of them. I'll leave the last one who I actually think it possibly could be because it's been rumored for months now. Perhaps Juvi could be brought back in, Juventud Guerrera. Or I could see Ultimo Dragon because Chris Jericho's been talking about Ultimo Dragon on social media a lot lately.
That's not. I'm thinking
of either one of those.
The person I'm thinking is the dude from 2020. Was it 18 or 19? They had that match in Japan. I can't think of his name though.
In Japan, huh? Let me see if I can find it. Chris Jericho in Japan. Either 2018 or 2019. I mean, obviously we had the Alpha and Omega matches.
No, it was a Japanese dude. I remember that.
I got a whole. Yeah, I figured as much. Rainmaker versus the Rainmaker. It ain't gonna be the Rainmaker. He had a match against Evil and Okada, the Rainmaker, which we know it won't be the Rainmaker. Tanahashi, but we know it won't be Tanahashi. Naito?
Yes.
Tatsuya Naito?
Yes.
He had a couple matches with him. Possibly. I mean, they could bring him in. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody debuting in AEW, honestly. Been rumored for a couple months since his WWE contract expired at the beginning of the year. And I've heard that a lot of people are thinking it could be the man, Goldberg, teaming up with Sting and Darby Allin here. Not saying that's definite, but it could happen. Him and Jericho have a history. More so behind the scenes than on screen, but still, everybody knows about it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I want to know what Sting whispered to Jericho at the end of that. Because obviously he wouldn't have told him who
How about someone else who has history with Big Show. I mean, with Jericho and Sting. Big Show.
What are you thinking? Oh, yeah. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't expect it, but either which way, no matter who the tag team partner is, I'm going with Sting, Darby Allin, and their partner to win this trios match.
Oh, 100%. But I don't think I think it's going to end differently than what people think. I think Guevara is turning on Jericho in this match.
Oh, yeah. That's how I feel like it's going to go,
All
too.
right.
Sammy's going to finally leave Jericho in the dust, so as to speak.
About freaking time.
Exactly. And Sting with the Scorpion Death Drop pins Chris Jericho to win the match.
Yes.
Unless he wants to give it to Darby with it.
No. Sting's going to take the win with Jericho, but Jericho's tapping out to the Rolls of Jericho.
You think so?
That would
the
be
Scorpion?
Come on. No, could you imagine the humility of Jericho taps out to his own move?
Yeah. I could see it. Why not? Either which way, yeah. Like I said, Sting and Darby and their partner are winning. Just have to wait till Collision to find out who exactly the partner is. It could be Naito. I wouldn't be surprised since they're announcing him on Collision. I feel like Goldberg, they would have waited till the pay-per-view if they would have put him as a partner. But who knows? Because they actually on Collision. Yeah, could be too. All right. I don't have to worry about their page no more because I know these last two matches that they got on the card. Who knows? They could add more at some point in time, but I'm sure this is pretty much the final card that they'll have. This next match is
9 matches.
God, I hope not. This next match, which I'm kind of surprised isn't the main event, but in a way I'm not too surprised either. You got Hiroshi Tanahashi, who last year at Forbidden Door was in the finals of the interim AEW World Championship tournament, facing off against the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, who had to be tricked into accepting this match instead of turning it down yesterday by Adam Cole. Maybe.
Wouldn't it be funny if Goldberg is the member, seeing that MJF was in WWE as one of the bodyguards walking out for Goldberg?
Yeah. Could be nasty.
This title reign is nowhere near done. I mean, MJF's keeping the title. It's as simple as that.
Point blank, period.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to disrespect someone I can barely pronounce their names, but
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
He's a hell of a wrestler.
He is.
And he is a much better wrestler, in my opinion, than MJF. But this title reign's got a little more to go yet, so MJF's keeping the title.
Yeah, I agree. MJF's keeping the title here. You say he's got a lengthy reign to go still. At least until All In, if nothing else. I feel like he's holding that title. Don't know when the finals of the tag team tournament is going to take place, but I still feel like All In is going to be Adam Cole and MJF for the world title. Maybe Adam Cole wins there. Who knows? We'll see. But this one will be a great match between these two. We've seen a lot of good things from Tanahashi. But MJF in the end, whether by hook or by crook, because we know he does a lot of times by crook, MJF will retain the world title there. Probably cheating to do so, and that'll give Adam Cole more ammo to shoot at MJF on Dynamite going forward.
Right.
Who knows? MJF could take the coward's way out and try to get counted out too, but a lot of times the referees don't do countouts in this type of a match, though, in AEW. And they try not to do disqualifications either.
It's MJF. There'll be some type of shenanigan he pulls.
Yeah, you know it. What'd you think of the match that him and Cole had last week, anyway?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's funny when you see two people that shouldn't be able to do a match like that, and they just let it all hang out. I mean, it was amazing.
It was. I hated that they had the time limit because, Cole had the 3 count there if the bell went to ring. But we'll see how it plays out. I feel like that was a 20-minute time limit. And since when do they have 20-minute time limits on a world championship eliminator match or match, period, when the world title's involved? Usually it's 30 or 60 for an actual title match. But
yeah,
that the eliminator matches were 30 minutes, and I'm pretty sure that one last week was only 20 for some reason. It seemed odd, but here we are. And it shows, I know I'm one of the two because I brought up YouTube on here. It says somebody else is in the chat section, but they're watching the show anyway. You got any predictions for Forbidden Door? Go ahead and put them in the comment section. I'll read them off. But we're into the last match otherwise. Main event for Forbidden Door. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, one-on-one with probably the biggest name in New Japan Pro Wrestling, I would say. Has been for years. Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker. This is the American Dragon. Interesting that we don't see Okada until this week on Dynamite Live, and that these two actually did not touch going into this match, which isn't something we see too often these days, but it's nice to see. I mean, obviously we just seen it back in April because Roman and Cody never touched before WrestleMania, but this is AEW too, so
right.
I'm kind of surprised this match is main event in the show, but in a way I'm not, because I know Bryan Danielson is one of the bookers backstage now, and I know Tony Khan has a very close relationship with Bryan, so that part of me is like, Tony just wanted to give Bryan the opportunity to main event a show like this then.
So no offense to Bryan Danielson, but I would have rather liked to see MJF get his ass whooped by Okada instead of the other guy.
Instead of Tanahashi?
Yeah, that guy.
Well,
I messed up on Kojima by calling him Hojima. So, I mean, I'm not taking any more chances here. Okada, I can pronounce.
Right?
Well, at least the last part. I can't pronounce his first name. I'll butcher that.
Yeah.
Kazuchika?
Kazuchika Okada.
Oh, yeah. Screw that. We're just calling him Okada.
I know, right? It's easier.
But the Rainmaker is reigning supreme. Okada's winning this match. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part, it might be like a 50-50 on AEW versus New Japan. More so AEW winning. I'd say AEW probably winning more than that. But this is a match that Bryan's wanted for a long time now. I think I've heard Okada's wanted it as well. They both consider themselves the best of this generation. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So, worth the billing of main event, I'm sure. But still, a little surprising that MJF's world title's not on the line in the main event. But, I digress. He even mentioned during the press conference after the last show, MJF did, that he didn't care if he went on last or second to last because he didn't go on last at the last pay-per-view either because he didn't want to be in Moxley's blood. But Stadium Stampede match afterwards or whatever you want to call it. Nonetheless, man, it's tough to go against Bryan Danielson, but I mean, when you look at his track record on pay-per-views in AEW, he hasn't won a whole lot. So And I feel like they need to have one big win for New Japan. So I do think I'm going to have to agree with you here. I think Okada's got to pick up the win here. And then that might play into perhaps a Bryan Danielson having a falling out with the BCC at some point down the road. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, but I could see something playing with that too.
I think these two could make a dangerous tag team.
Ooh. Do you think Okada would actually stick around in the States, though, long enough to be a part of that tournament if they decide to go that way, though?
I don't know. I would love it. But it could go either way. I mean, as much as I want Okada to stay in the States, I feel like whatever company he's with is going to be the true winner because there's not a talent. No offense again to Bryan Danielson or other big names. There's not a generational star with the talent that Okada has in ring. And wherever he ends up, you know the match is going to be good. The show's going to be great. And he is the star of wrestling right now. No, I'm not going to say no offense. Yeah, I said it, Roman Reigns. Suck it. Because you ain't got no bloodline anymore. Anyways. But wrestling is Okada. He is the wrestler of this generation.
Yeah. And I could honestly see Bryan being like, hey, I just want to put Okada over here too. So
yeah.
That's what it seems like Bryan's been doing a lot of in AEW is putting these newer stars or the guys that people don't see a whole lot of over and trying to give them that push, so as to speak. So should be a good show nonetheless. Be interesting to see how this all plays out, and will we see any of the Blackpool Combat Club try to get involved? And if so, will Okada have backup of his own?
Okada don't need no backup.
True. But I'm sure he'd still have some friends in the back if need be. But I feel like Bryan's not going to want the other members of BCC involved. He's going to want this one-on-one in the long run.
I remember a few years ago when Okada was the big name rumored to go to WWE. It wasn't Switchblade. It wasn't anyone else. It was Okada. And everyone's like, that would be awesome. It still would be awesome. And
yes, it would be.
It sucks that he stays in Japan and keeps all this away from us. And we got to pay for this pay-per-view to see it because, you can't find much of his stuff on YouTube because it's Okada.
Yeah.
So I don't even know, man. It's like, how can you keep I'm just going to leave it like that.
How can you keep that away from the American audience from seeing?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I get that.
Could you imagine the ratings of Impact if they got their hands on Okada? People would actually watch the show. They would record it 3 months in advance.
Yeah. I don't see that ever happening, but hey, you never know.
Right.
If I got the channel that Impact was on, no offense to Impact Wrestling, I'd watch it, but that channel doesn't go everywhere, so that they're on access. Sucks. And I'm not paying extra money just to watch Impact Wrestling every Thursday.
I'm not going to stay up till butt crack of the morning, to watch New Japan or whenever it is on over here.
Exactly.
Because I know we have a station that runs it, but it's like, not going to stay up for who knows when just to watch it.
Exactly.
Bring some of that talent here. Make it. I get that you're New Japan Wrestling. Do a pay-per-view. Do a show in America. Show us what you're all about. Don't make us wait till the middle of the damn night.
Exactly. But they, I'm sure, feel the same way, except for the opposite from our American shows over there. So
Why? We ain't got no one that talented. They ain't missing out.
some people might disagree with you, but yeah.
Oh
Just
no,
saying.
I didn't acknowledge the tribal chief.
I wasn't necessarily thinking Roman, but that's side point.
See, what I think the match that would like this is going to be a great match, but the Okada match I would have loved to see would be Okada, the greatest thing out of Japan. No offense to the Great Muta, but this generation's star of Japan. Versing the American Nightmare.
Yeah.
That would be a huge match.
Ooh.
But with Cody being WWE,
That would have been.
it's highly unlikely we'll ever see that.
Right. Unless Okada eventually does come over.
Even if it's just a one-night event, like for a WrestleMania, Cody versus Okada. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It would be. You know, go that way. But yeah, there's the 8 match cards that they actually have on AEW's site. So they did have a 10-man tag match there. Again, if they would be like WWE, they'd have each match with a description for it where you could actually use the pictures, like again on WWE.com. But no, they can't do that. That's too hard to do, apparently.
Right.
If anybody from AEW ever listens, change it so that we can do things easier. Right? But I want to see something here. If they've got it on here, then you're going to see me scrolling through some shit from AEW. CMFTR. I was hoping. Don't look like they do, though, of course. Yeah, it's nice to see a Rainmaker to Yuta. Why not? They might ban me for it, but I don't care. No, we won't do that. We're gonna do. Yeah. Jericho called Sting some things. I'm gonna do Google. You're gonna bring up that picture again. There we go. Since we're talking AEW anyways, and we mentioned the women's bracket, I said who I think will win the men's. Might as well bring up the whole bracket if I can find a picture again. I had it at one point. Of course, this page I went to first doesn't have it. And it's nice to see Owen Hart get recognition in a company and actually be a part of a video game. Speaking of which, of course, their AEW Fight Forever finally hits stores next Thursday, a week from today. There we go. That should show me. And if I remember right, you said something about you were getting that video game?
If it's still on Game Pass, because now there's been reports that it's not coming to Game Pass.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'd rather it come to Game Pass so I know exactly what I'm paying for.
I don't plan on getting it right away anyways. Maybe at some point, but we'll see.
I mean, there's one
Right.
gamer that streams on Twitch that I'll probably wait and see what he thinks of it before I actually even think about buying it, and that's Tugi, and see how he likes it and that. See if it actually lives up to what they're promising. So yeah.
Yeah. You can kind of see it now since it's just scrolling. Maybe. There it goes. Pause you. No. Full screen it. Here we go. That's better. So we got this Sunday, of course, the Satoshi Kojima versus CM Punk at Forbidden Door. And then
Punk's
next week,
win.
Saturday on Collision, is all three of the other quarterfinal matches. Roderick Strong versus Samoa Joe, Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Joe's got to win that one.
Yeah, he's got to.
Really? Dustin Rhodes faces Powerhouse Hobbs, which I'm sure Powerhouse Hobbs is going to win. And then you got Juice Robinson versus Ricky Starks again.
It's got to be Ricky, right?
We haven't seen that match enough times. Yeah, I would feel like you have to have Hobbs and Ricky in the semifinals. But I feel like it's got to be Hobbs and Punk in the finals.
I would like to see Punk and Starks in the finals, but I agree it's most likely going to be Hobbs and Punk.
Right. I mean, Starks and Punk would be great, but they're teaming up together this upcoming Saturday. Not saying it couldn't happen, but a lot of times in these type of tournaments, you get a baby face versus a heel in the finals more so than two baby faces or two heels. Punk and Joe's going to be a lot of fun in the semifinals, though.
But watch, Punk won't even make to the finals. It'd be like Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I can't even finish it with a straight face.
You're funny.
Woo.
Right? But yeah, so I feel like CM Punk's winning the men's one, and like I said,
Willow.
Yeah, it's got to be Punk.
Kojima, 1-on-1. The quarterfinal round action. There you see the rest of the matches on the screen. And the women's tournament kicks off this Friday night at Rampage. Anna Jay goes.
So I feel like CM Punk and I'm going to go with Ruby Soho still, yeah. Is who I think will be the two winners.
I think it's going to be Punk and Willow if she makes it.
Well, you think Willow's actually going to win? I mean, we know it won't be a couple this year, unlike last year, no matter what.
Right. I think it's very possible Willow.
Of course, Adam Cole and Britt Baker were the inaugural winners. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of wish they would have done more than 8, though. That's me.
Like
I'm just thinking about tournaments, though. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Should have started with 16.
Because I feel like when it's just 8, it's kind of. Of
course, the finals will be taking place on. I think they said on Collision. Right. For the most part. I mean, they might try to throw a monkey wrench at you once in a while, but it doesn't happen very often.
Right.
Yeah, nice to see Owen Hart get his respect there, and I'm glad there's a wrestling company that Martha is willing to let honor Owen's name, since she obviously doesn't want anything to do with WWE and Owen's death. It's a whole nother story that we could go on about anytime, but it is what it is. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for that. Next week, Thursday, back here at the same time, this is what I set up for our Money in the Bank prediction show. I know they'll still have SmackDown the night after we do it live. And then, of course, Money in the Bank's on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in the States on Saturday, next week, Saturday on the 1st. So, should be an interesting show. You and I both talked a little bit about Money in the Bank already before we went on the air today. And at least with that one, I know I won't run into the same issue I did with this one, and I'll be able to just bring up the pictures quick and easy.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe we'll even have somebody else join us on the show next week. If he's actually on.
Which one are we talking about?
Anybody, really.
Because I know there might be a certain, how do I say this properly? New Yorker back in town. Ready to throw down.
Hey, I'd be happy to have Eddie in. So, anytime. I might talk to Kev to see if he wants to come on, but we'll see. I posted on Twitter anyways, so if you didn't know, that's his own problem. You're not seeing my post.
Then I retweet it.
Yes, I appreciate it.
No problem.
I was posting them on Facebook too, but I don't think anybody ever pays attention to the posts on Facebook. So
yeah, I mean, remember when Facebook was the thing? Now it's just like, who still uses it?
I know, right? That's what it seems like. I still use it for a lot of stuff, but not. Try not to do too much advertising on there, except for when I do like interviews on here. Yeah, I'll answer you in a couple minutes when I'm off here. But I've got that. For anybody who might watch this later, that is BTWI's. In a couple weeks, I'll have a review show for their upcoming show that they do this upcoming Sunday. BTW. Oh, I just drew a blank on the name of their show. Come on, how to plug it since it's a big thing on my channel these days. Now, that was a couple weeks ago. I did the Ultimate Redemption review show. Yard Days, that's right. Yard Days is the show this upcoming Sunday, which I'll be watching sometime after it airs, because I got to be working, of course, when it starts at 6 o'clock Sunday. Because I work till 7 on this Sunday. That's okay. I don't mind watching after it airs. Just won't be in the live chat section, that's all. I'm going to get my reviews anyways later on here. So in a couple weeks, expect Busta Boy and I on here for that. Next week, go ahead.
I'll be a little behind on Money in the Bank because I get out at Jersey and Mike's at 3. Because it's on the weekend.
Right. Well, then I won't spoil anything to you during the show.
I'll just text you when I see it, like, what?
Right? I'll ask that next week if I think about it when we do the predictions. But so many things I feel like WWE's just been hitting its stride since the last year or so, I feel like. So.
Oh, yeah.
AEW's got to get through all their BS to get back on their good stuff, but that's that. All right. That's all my plugs. I'm looking for a new outro coming soon, maybe even a new intro. We'll see. New logo. I'm working on that too. So change things up a little bit here. Hope to anyway. All right. So since the other person watching didn't say nothing in the comment section, I'm going to assume they just wanted to watch and that was it. Thanks for joining in. Thank you for being here, John. Fun as always.
Always.
Look forward to seeing how Forbidden Door turns out this Sunday. And we'll catch you guys next week right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel.